Hello and welcome back to Movie Husbands. Today we're reviewing Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar by Josh Greenbaum. So Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar stars Kristen Wiig and Mumolo as best friends Barb and Star, who go on vacation to Vista Del Mar. They unwittingly infiltrate a plot by a vengeful villain trying to kill the whole town with mosquitoes. Yes, that's the actual plot. Jamie Dornan also stars as the love interest of Barb, who is stuck between the villain of the film and his love for the main characters. So Jeffrey, what did you think of Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar?
This movie is nonsense. This movie is nonsense. I almost borderline respect how little sense it makes. It's utterly nonsensical, and occasionally very funny. Most of the time, it's so nonsensical that I can't even try to find it funny. So I kind of like this type of humor, this overly absurd, nothing makes any sense kind of humor. And this movie made me realize that too much of a good thing can really spoil things. So that's what I thought of Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar. That I spent $20 on, and I'm still waiting for your Venmo because I am not paying $20 for this movie.
It has decent reviews. It does great reviews.
Oh, I just say you didn't even say anything yet. Do you like this? Anything?
So, I mean, I'm torn. I'm a little torn here. This movie is absolutely ridiculous. It's pretty much, I would say it's very comparable to Zoolander. There's just these jokes that make no sense whatsoever. And that's the whole point, is that the jokes make no sense. There's this thing with mice that just pops up and you're just like, what the was that?
That was so weird.
And that just pretty much continues throughout the rest of the movie where you're just like, what the If I had to be very critical about this movie, I think the worst that I would say is that Zoolander had a place with its comedy back when it originally came out, and I'm not sure that comedy works anymore. With that being said, though, I haven't laughed so much watching a movie this entire year. This movie made me cackle at the top of my lungs in random places, and other times the jokes did fall flat, and I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. But other than that, I really enjoyed this movie to the extent of what they were going for. Feeling I don't know, this past year has been so crazy with the pandemic and everything, and this movie just made me laugh.
I will say that there are individual things that made me laugh. I'm a big fan of editing in comedy. People forget how editing can be very funny. This movie it doesn't have that all the way through, but it has that a couple times. There are 2 times that they edit back to the Talking Club that are without a doubt the funniest part of the movie. There is just other parts of this movie that feel more like Zoolander 2 to me than Zoolander.
I think the problem is maybe it's just I'm older. And so that type of comedy, and this movie might be something that, younger people really kind of find hilarious. And now that I'm older, I feel like I need more intelligence from my comedy. I feel like it has to be more meaningful. And I think that's just the place in my growth with film, so that when Zoolander 2 came out, I had already kind of experienced that growth. And so it just didn't have the same impact that it originally had. Even though it's interesting because I could go back to Zoolander and still watch it and still enjoy it to the same extent. But I think that's more of a nostalgic thing than being introduced to it for the first time. If Zoolander came out now, I think this is an interesting conversation to be had. If Zoolander came out now, I don't know if it necessarily would work.
It's true of a lot of comedies. I was thinking about this with Dumb and Dumber earlier.
Yeah, and Will Ferrell was a producer on this movie as well. So I mean, you do get a sense of the vibe being played throughout this film. Going to the editing a little bit, because I think that was very hysterical, is that there's certain moments where they don't overplay them and they just cut from them, and that in itself was kind of like a joke. It's just the film recognizes that this is just pointless bullshit, and it just okay, we're moving on from that.
That's the thing, I kind of like that, and I like that in comedies, that everybody that's working on the movie is reminded to be funny. The editor, the director, the actors, everybody. Whereas I feel in this movie, it's just Kristen Wiig playing a character that's really ridiculous, and that's kind of all there is to it. There's not really a lot of backbone to this movie.
So if I had to put this movie into a physical form, I would say it was like an ice cream cone that you got an ice cream shop, and it kind of tastes really good, and maybe you get a gummy bear in there every now and then, and then you finish it, and then you'll complete. I'm gonna completely forget about this movie. But while I was eating the ice cream, it was pretty good and it was pretty enjoyable.
Oh, to me, it was like an ice cream cone that you come out of the shop and it's a really, really hot day and you're kind of looking around and you're like, oh, cool, some stuff, and then it melts and it's all gone. That's how this movie feels to me.
So let's go to grades then.
D. Seriously, it's a D. I don't know. Like, I don't. It would be like if I didn't think it was that good and it was really funny, I would give it like a C+ or a B-. But like I didn't think it was good and I didn't find it that funny, so it's a D.
Yeah, I'm kind of gonna be far from you on this, but I'm gonna give it a B-. You're such a hater.
I'm sorry. I love Kristen Wiig. I wish I liked it more. I love Bridesmaids. I love a lot of Kristen Wiig stuff. I just don't think that's there for this movie. Like there could have been something really sweet and wonderful, but it all melted away while I was looking at other things.
Well, that was the point of my gummy references, that maybe there's like a gummy bear every now and then in there.
Yeah, but gummy bears suck.
I know. I don't know why I choose gummy bears. I should choose like Reese's Pieces.
Oh, this movie. I stand by my.
This review is ridiculous.
I stand by that this movie is nonsense. So that's our review of Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar, which is now on VOD. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like, and we'll see you in the next one.